he shot him, but he didn't have to shoot him. Because Leonard was driving so slow. He wasn't even driving 5 miles an hour. Once you put it in drive, the truck barely moved. And it was behind Shirley's car. And it stopped right there. The light was on and everything. He didn't have to shoot him.
All right, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. That is one of the 5 witnesses that witnessed the death of 53-year-old Leonard Parker Jr. in Gulfport, Mississippi in February of 2020. He was shot by this man right here, Gulfport police officer, 31-year-old Jason Cuevas, or however you pronounce his name. That's inconsequential. But he was shot while he was leaving a birthday party. And the witnesses and the residents of the house of the party say that this man, Leonard Parker Jr., was driving in a drunk guest to his local hotel and was only going 2 to 3 miles per hour when this police officer shot him. Now, I'm going to show you the eyewitness testimony, but I'm also going to show you this police officer's narrative of what happened and let you be the judge. Now, first, let me show you this news video that details a lawsuit that has been filed on behalf of that family in regards to the needless, unnecessary murder of yet another black man in Mississippi by police. Just watch.
Death lawsuit against the city of Gulfport and the police officer who fatally shot an Army veteran on February 1st, 2020.
Back in April, a grand jury cleared that officer of any wrongdoing, but the family of Leonard Parker Jr. says he did nothing wrong and didn't have to die at the hands of police. The suit filed in federal court alleges excessive force by an officer caused the death of the 53-year-old Army veteran who was in town for a birthday party. This right here is footage taken by WLOX after those deadly shots were fired. The suit goes on to say Parker was not armed and outlined numerous allegations of wrongdoing by the officer who fired at Parker and other officers who responded to that scene.
Among the allegations, the officers never identified themselves as police, no lights or sirens used. The officer who shot gave no warning or commands before firing at Parker. That deadly force was not necessary, and Parker was not posing a threat to the officers. The lawsuit asks for a jury trial and unspecified damages. As we said, the officer who fired the deadly shot at Parker was cleared of any wrongdoing by a grand jury. Gulfport police declined to comment on this lawsuit. There are many more details on this case and what witnesses told investigators on WLOX.com, and you can also read a detailed account of the incident from the officer.
Now, I'm going to show you some of those witnesses' account of what happened, but briefly, I'll tell you a little bit about the situation. They say Parker was visiting from Covington, Georgia, in Gulfport, Mississippi. There was some sort of a house party where the man that caused the whole situation, and you're going to hear him tell what happened. This man was in the bathroom. Somebody walked in on him. He got irate, started fussing, and wanted to, according to witnesses, fight everybody in the house. You know how parties go when too much alcohol gets involved. This guy was going off. Leonard Parker stepped in, tried to defuse the situation. They said that, he tried to fight Leonard. After a while, the person who owned the house, who was throwing the party, called police and was like, yo, this guy is drunk. He won't leave. Now, when this guy heard that the police were coming, he was like, man, I'm about to go. I don't want to get locked up in Mississippi. Now, I think he was from Louisiana or somewhere and came up for the party too. So Leonard Parker volunteered to take this man home. Now, when Leonard Parker and the man got out of the car, he backed out of the driveway. Now, mind you, the police had already been called. Some people say that he didn't know that the police were called. One lady said that she tapped on the window and said the police were coming. Nevertheless, this police officer parked this car down the street with no lights or no sirens or anything, and was walking up as Leonard was backing out of the driveway. Now, they say Leonard backed into a mailbox on the opposite side of the street and then was putting the car in drive when the officer walked up with a flashlight. And he's saying, people are saying that Leonard didn't know it was an officer. This officer saying that he yelled and said, "Stop, stop, stop." And he felt the car accelerating toward him. Now, as you just heard one of the witnesses say, the car wasn't going no more than 5 miles an hour. Nevertheless, this officer, and you're going to hear him, try to cry and do the whole fear for my life thing. This officer fired into the car, striking Leonard in the face. And they said the car was actually in park, when he was shot. You're going to hear different witnesses testify like the car was barely moving when he was shot. Yet this officer shot him. He's going to go with the whole "I feared for my life" thing. And they have cleared this officer of any wrongdoing as per usual. But listen to these witnesses describe what happened. Then I'm going to let you hear how the officer tried to describe what happened. These videos are fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. Just watch.
I said, he shot him, but he didn't have to shoot him. Because Leonard was driving so slow. He wasn't even driving 5 miles an hour. Once you put it in drive, the truck barely moved. And it was behind Shirley's car. And it stopped right there. The light was on and everything. He didn't have to shoot him because I understand your life, police life is on the line. People run you down. You can't be ran down for 4 or 5 miles an hour. He wasn't driving fast.
So Leonard backed out in the road, and when he got out of the road, he turned to go towards up the street, but he was moving slow. He didn't move real fast. It's like a cruise. It was a slow, like, I said a good, maybe 4 or 5. It was like a creep. When he backed out, the light shining on the front of the truck. So I told him, "Now look," I said, well, there's no police right there. He left the car sitting there. He got out the car. As he was backing out, he was moving forward, but he wasn't moving fast. So he made about maybe the next door house. And I was standing there when I was looking at him going, And so I walked to the end of my sister's truck. And when I walked to the end of my sister's truck, I looked and I seen the policeman. He said, he shot in the air first. And then he said, "You tried to hit me." And then he said, "Put your hands up."
I just saw one officer. I didn't see the other officer. I saw one officer in the middle of the street. He was in the middle of the street, and he just had the gun pointed at them.
I'm finna go, but I see them slowing back down. So I'm like, I turn back around, I'm like, why they slowing down? So I see him slowing down. He's kind of like at a stop at this point. And I see flashlights. Flashlights. I don't know about how police. So I'm lost at this point. I'm just like, see flashlights or whatever. So what's going on? And I hear boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, turn around, we finna run. And somebody say, "It's the police. They shooting in the air." And I'm like, why are they shooting in the air? So they told me and my sister turn around.
Yes, he pulled it off, and then the cop told him to stop. And he stopped. He stopped. He said, stop the car. And he told him to get out the car and stuff. And he stopped the car, and I was just standing at the mailbox, and I was like, he's not armed.
So he was moved at the time of the shot?
No, he had stopped.
He had stopped.
He had stopped. The boy had stopped the truck and everything. Next thing you know, you hear boom, 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 boom. So my cousin just dropped to the ground. I said, no. I said, he probably just gave him a warning shot. I said, don't do that. I didn't want her to know. I seen him do just like this, so she turned away. I'm like, they're not armed. They're not armed. Please, don't shoot. Please don't shoot or whatever. Get your hands up. Get your hands up. And they started saying, "Get your hands up." And it's like one voice saying, "Get your hands up," and another voice kind of like repeat the same statement. Repeating the same statement, "Get your hands up," or whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, well, what's going on? Nobody's hands ain't moving. So I hear Tremaine say, my hands up, my hands up or whatever. So my mind is like, I ain't gonna lie to you, so much stuff going on in this world today. My only focus is trying to get everybody in the truck to comply. Like, I didn't know why he kept on repeating the commands until I noticed Tremaine had heels up. So I'm thinking maybe he was saying them for Leonard, but not knowing that at that time he couldn't.
So then I heard the cop saying, stop the car right now. And I was at the edge of the road, and I was like, screaming to him that he's not armed. I told him he wasn't armed. And I just screamed he was not armed or whatever. And he shot him. And he opened the door and he fell on the ground.
He didn't come to find out what was going on at all before shooting or even, okay, stop the truck, no problem. Because he had already stopped. He stopped. When he see the police walking, he stopped the truck.
And I was screaming he wasn't armed. I don't know why he shot him. I don't understand why he shot him. We wasn't even the one that we caught police for.
All right, and so there you see 5 witnesses basically have been terrorized and traumatized by this race soldier, this murderer, this armed killer who came to that party with the expressed intention to take life. Several people said that the car was stopped when the officer shot him. This officer didn't identify himself. And you can see those racist white police officers just sitting there looking like, no matter what y'all say, we are going to clear this officer. Now, the man who was in the car with him, Tremaine, you're going to hear him tell the officers the same thing, that they were going 2 to 3 miles an hour when that police officer opened fire on them. Just watch. Now, this is the man who was actually in the car when the officer murdered our brother.
Where were you sitting?
On the passenger side.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna pull out the yard, with a couple. I guess cops. I don't know if he knew that. I saw that, but I did. I saw it was supposed to be at the flashlight. It wasn't stopped, But it wasn't going fast,
Can you estimate for me?
I would say about 2 to 3 miles an hour. It wasn't fast at all. It was like a real drift,
Okay.
He wasn't trying to hurt the police. I don't even think he understood that was the police. But we just backing up. We ain't knowing that they done called the police.
Y'all did know or you didn't know?
We didn't.
Okay.
I'm like, man, by the time I recognized what was going on, then I was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, damn, I thought I was hit because I feel something burning back here. Damn, couldn't just die just like that, All we did was pull out. He didn't do anything wrong. But if I was the officer, I would not even should run over me too.
Now, once again, that was the man who caused the trouble. I don't know what he's talking about. If I was the officer, I would have thought he was going to run over me too. How so when he was only going 3 miles an hour? And so I don't know what my brother was talking about. They actually didn't interview him for the grand jury. And I'm glad they didn't. But, nevertheless, they interviewed everybody and they still cleared this officer. Now, listen to this officer describe what happened. If you can stomach it. It's hard for me to stomach it, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this officer's testimony.
Okay, did you have any blue lights and sirens on at any time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you parked your vehicle, did you leave your headlights on or did you turn them off?
I turned them off.
Okay. So you exited your vehicle and you had one flashlight?
I had this flashlight. Okay.
And you're walking, say, down the middle of the street or to the left side, which would have been the south side?
Initially, I was kind of more on it was pretty much the middle of the road because I didn't know if it was going to be on the north or south.
All right, he strikes the mailbox from the back. And he straightens out and he starts heading your direction, correct? So at this time, you're in the middle of the road?
This time I'm kind of like moving out towards the left because I saw the truck on that side, so I start walking this way over to the left because it's obviously hit the mailbox. I didn't know if it was going to stop there or not. When it starts driving, I'm closer to that south side of the road where the grass was, And as he's coming towards me, I'm, have this on strobe. I'm got my actual phone out and bumping like you're saying, "Hey, stop the vehicle, stop the vehicle." And I don't recall. I can't remember if I said police stop the vehicle. I'm pretty sure I said stop the vehicle, police stop the vehicle. And at that point, I heard the vehicle pick up in speed, and I remember thinking, like, this is going to happen. Like, this is it, Like, I started backpedaling. I remember trying to move back out of the way, and I just saw the truck, just headlights the whole time, started just tracking towards me, just following me. At which point, I just remember discharging my firearm and seeing the vehicle come to a stop. And I remember after we moved the guy from the vehicle, I could see the passenger tire was still in the grass on the side of the road on the south side. It was almost like my body just took over. I don't remember just I remember seeing everything, but it was like my body went into autopilot, like it was trying to save itself,
Just wait for the next question. You just take a few deep breaths. Wait for the next question. That's all right. Breathe in and out.
These white people are so evil.
Gulfport police, normally do they have a body camera?
Yes, sir.
And a dash cam?
Yes, sir.
In their car? Was yours on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know why?
Honestly, I thought after the incident, I remember asking us, am I good to turn my camera off now that I'm away from everything? He said, yeah, we're taking you to the station. And I was like, I know I turned my camera on. I know I did. It wasn't until I got to the station to check, and I saw it, I had to turn it on. But
So there you see the fake crying that they do. 5 white men in a room. They're basically telling him what to say. They're leading him on. You heard him say that he didn't turn on his body cam footage. He thought he had it on. He didn't turn on the car. He parked all the way down the street, which is a tactical move, a stealth, a guerrilla warfare tactic. And, trying to say, well, the car was tracking me, the car was following me, when all of the witnesses are saying that the car was going 2 to 3 miles per hour, had just moved past the neighbor's house, which you can't move that short of a distance going that fast before this man was shot. And all of that fake crying is just an example of their evil. They're patting him on the back, talking about take your time, take your time. He's talking about this is it. I just felt like this was it. My body took over. Yeah, the demon possession in your body, the inherent innate racism that said, okay, I can get a free kill off this man, this veteran, this 22-year-old veteran, 22-year veteran of the United States Armed Forces, father of 6, being shot down in the middle of the street. And then they said that he fell out of the car and they handcuffed him and rolled him over on his back. Now, once again, this happened in 2020, February. And they're saying for almost a year, the Gulfport Police Department only released 3 sentences about this incident. And this is the 3 sentences. February the 1st, 2020, at approximately 2:58 a.m., the Gulfport Police Department received multiple 911 phone calls from a residence in the 200 block of 25th Street for a disturbance call. A responding officer was approaching the residence on foot when a vehicle leaving the scene drove toward the officer. The officer discharged his weapon, which killed the driver, later identified as Leonard Parker. 3 sentences about this incident is all the family received. And witnesses say there were not multiple calls, and that's a lie. There was only one call, and the family was not able to get more information from the police department, not even the officer's name. Now, like I said, in May, they took the case to the grand jury, which reviewed, and despite all of the witnesses saying that Parker stopped his truck before this officer fired, they still cleared him. As I mentioned, he failed to turn on his body camera, which was a violation of the policy. The department did not say that he was disciplined for that. They never shared the officer's name with the family and did not acknowledge there was no body cam footage until May of the next year. Of course, they're declining to speak to anyone, any of the news outlets about this situation. And so this death of, once again, a black man is another example of racist white men being able to kill with impunity in the black community. This officer couldn't remember whether he said he was the police or not, whether he said this. And these racist white people, the grand jury, the judges, the DAs, the prosecutors, allow this man to kill without retribution. So rest in peace to the brother Leonard Parker Jr. I have no information if that lawsuit was adjudicated or not. But if you guys have any information about this story, you see the number 919-587-7782. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And if you like this channel and the content, please hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it allows this channel to continue to grow. But most importantly, I'm extremely grateful for you, and especially you, for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, engaging, and also subscribing to the channel. And as always, I pray you have peace and blessings. The scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Who keep the people informed? Stories abroad from literary work where the narrative's wrong. The research is always on point, the commentary is hard. It's Rich Teller raising the bar. Follow along, shout out to FBA, still FTP, big up NFAC, and all my black families. It's 3 sides to all stories, which one you gon' believe? We run down on the false prophets when they come to deceive. 100% urban world news, current events, we don't like them lies. Media is biased, cause we got God inside us, ladies and gents is power. If you don't know by now, look around me, the darkest hours. Cops squeezing hammers, cause they don't understand us. We stop and freeze with our hands, and kill us off like cancer. Don't speculate before the facts on the case. Telehouse, set them straight, my smoking rich investigates. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.